This movie blew me away. It's
wow.
so innovative.
Joe, thank you.
I mean, so I heard that you at home you had safe sounds and unsafe sounds.
Yeah.
What did some of those consist of?
Well, I mean, as soon as Emily signed on, we actually started it out as a joke where we were trying to figure out what it would be like to live as quietly as possible. It's very difficult to do. So when we were cooking dinner for the kids or something and I'd drop a spoon, she'd just lean back and go, "You're dead," which is probably not the best thing to say in front of the kids because the kids are like, "What happened?" But then it became a really serious, sort of exploration of sound and sort of this, it would be nearly impossible to do what this family's doing. And so it led to a lot of conversations for weeks and weeks and weeks leading to the movie. And that was the cool thing about the process with Emily was we did all the work before we got to set. We sort of were as honest as we are about this movie as we are in our marriage. Interesting.
So I also read that you attached to this film quite quickly because of you having your second daughter. And that fear, I guess, is really kind of what connected you with this.
1000%, yeah. I don't think anybody looks at my name and says, like, that's the guy who's going to direct another horror movie. You know what I mean? I think that for me, I'm not even a horror guy. I mean, now I am a huge horror guy. But up until then, I hadn't seen a lot of horror movies.
Really?
Because I was just too scared. I was just one of those people who's scared, and I know there's a lot of us out there. But for me, this script came about 3 weeks after Emily had given birth to our second daughter, and so I was definitely in that new parent terror. I was scared to keep her safe, to keep her alive. Was I a good enough man to be her dad? And all these huge ideas are all in this movie, and I love that people call it a scary movie, and it is. But there's something really emotional going on here too, and so I know it seems insane from the poster, but this is a love letter to my daughters.
Well, I mean, you hit it almost right on the head because there's a few jump scares and stuff, but mainly I was more afraid for the family.
That's exactly right.
And I just connected with them so much, and any small sound I heard, and it's weird watching a movie like this in a theater, because you don't want to make a noise because you think
it's exactly right. One of my favorite things that people have said about the movie is that it's an experience. It's not just a movie; it's an experience. And listen, as a director, you always want people to go see your movie in the theaters, but because that's the way you envision it in your head. But in this one, it's actually people are saying you have to go because you want to see it with strangers in a room. There's something kind of palpable about the tension, which is, I mean, come on, there's nothing better than that.
Now, a lot of our fans at Screen Rant love the superhero stuff. Switching gears for a second, I know that you and Emily have both flirted with this for a little bit. Yeah. Any chance that you guys could be playing Mr. and Mrs. or the Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic?
Oh yeah, Fantastic Four. Yeah. I would love that. I mean, listen, I'm still getting into the whole superhero thing. I didn't read comics as a kid, as many. I read some, but not as much. But I'm a huge superhero fan, and so yeah, I'd love to do something like that if there are any left.
Sure,
a lot of these have been taken, but the ones that are left, yeah. I mean, I would love to do something like that. And listen, I'd love to work with her again. So any chance I got would be great.
Now I have another question. So when you were, this script conveys emotion brilliantly, and how difficult was that? To not use dialogue essentially.
Well, that's a great question. I mean, at the end of the day, the truth is, what I was most scared of is the lack of dialogue. It was also the thing I knew would be really cool if we could pull it off, but it's a high wire act, right? Sure. So if you make it across, it's amazing. If not, that's not great. So it was probably day 2 or 3 I saw the thing I was most scared of, very much like this family in the movie, the thing you were most scared of is actually your superpower. So you start watching Emily for sure, but even these kids, like the emotion and the power that they were conveying without using words was just huge and so emotional, and that's when I really knew that we had something special.